Hello, and welcome back to A Better World. This is your host, Mitchell Rabin, and we're very glad that you're joining us again today. Today we're going to have another very interesting and very beautiful show. We have Gabrielle Young with us, who's a visionary and performing artist, who's been traveling around the world performing the poetry of Rumi, as well as a series of other poems, and she'll be sharing especially Rumi with us tonight. You'll be seeing her perform at the end of this introduction. And it is truly heavenly. It will move you, and that's why we wanted to have her on the show, to perform for you all. Let me just read to you a quote of Andrew Harvey, the famous scholar, who was very involved in Rumi and has translated him and is very well known. He saw Gabrielle's delivery, performance of Rumi, and this is what he had to say. "Nobody delivers Rumi like Gabrielle. Gabrielle Young has honed her being and her art to the point where she is not merely a marvelous interpreter of Rumi's poems, but a transmitter of their sacred fire. Anyone who sees her performance will come away as I did, haunted by its wild and pure intensity, its unforced exaltation, and its all-pervading atmosphere of reverence before the mystery of divine love. Gabrielle is an alchemist of movement, gesture and word. She gifts that elixir of holy passion that turns the dross of being into the gold of truth." That
Alhamdulillah.
is really something.
It's a sweet blessing. Thank you.
It's very beautiful. With that, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Why don't you first, if you would, be kind enough just to introduce what you'll be performing, and then we'll convene afterwards and talk for a few minutes.
Great, yeah. So we'll be listening to Rumi recreations by Andrew Harvey, also translations by Coleman Barks, who are two of the key translators in the West. And the books are The Essential Rumi by Coleman Barks and Speaking Flame and Love's Glory by Andrew Harvey. And the music that we'll be listening to is by Michael Harrison on his unique harmonic piano. So these are original compositions and on a very unique instrument. Yes.
Magnificent.
Yeah. And the first selection really focuses on the fire. I call them the fire poems. This is Night Vigil with the Beloved. All of Rumi's poetry and these other spiritual masters focus on this direct encounter with the Beloved within and everywhere. And this particular first set of fire poems, it's a dialogue with the Beloved, a direct encounter, sometimes called Night Vigil. The point where there's checkmate. The ego is checkmated, and there's no thing to do ever more but surrender fully. And so this is the series. These are mainly recreations by Andrew Harvey. And then the second set we'll hear is The Divine Child. This is after the soul has been made incandescent by the holy fire, the alchemical fire. Then there's this breakthrough, release completely, and the pure wonder and humility and adoration that comes as a divine child here and now is born. So it's really the end of our long journey. That's right. Well, what we're here for.
Fire on, so really
yes, exactly. Right to the heart of it. Right, in the center of the heart of it.
We're not starting at the beginning, we're starting in the middle of one's life.
Exactly.
That's fine. Sure. Maybe many of our viewers are middle-aged.
Well, this is particularly potent, and these concentrated quatrains, which are one aspect of what came through the transmission that is Rumi, which is really a mystical force field, a very powerful initiatory language, even in English, a spiritual transmission, a baraka. And Love's Glory, that actually is the glory, this higher light transmission that comes through, breaks us open radically. And we have this direct divine experience of glory. So
beautiful.
Enjoy.
You do a magnificent job, and I look forward to seeing it again.
Thank you.
So stay tuned, and with your heart and soul, view that's coming up.
If the luminosity of the Sheikh's faith were to actually rise in the east, everything below the crust of the earth would be handfuls of mystery, and everything above a green lightedness. Green fire is the sign of the new body. Our love engenders in a bed of dawn. Green fire licks all pride from the skull, soaks each trembling cell with heaven. Speak of love's glory. How do you dare? I gave my mouth to God to do with what she wanted. For years she buried it at the bottom of her sea. Today she raises it, brimmed with living pearls. It's a burning of the heart I want. It's a burning of the heart I want more than anything. It's this burning in the core of the heart that calls God secretly in the night. Intimate sounds, not words, intimate sounds. I catch what I can't quite make out. Fire burning down along the roots as well as in the branches. The whole tree lit up. Any direction you turn, it's one vision. Shams, my body is a candle touched with fire. Love lit a fire in my chest, and anything that wasn't love left. Beauty, harsher than 1,000 suns, broke into my house, asked, "How is your heart?" His robe of glory trailed the floor. I said, "Pick up your robe. This house is floored with blood." You'll not have escaped from yourself until your light is 1,000 times you. I could not know what he meant before he exploded me. Know now, all at once, atoms in all worlds everywhere are fire dancing out of their minds for love of him. This crazy, ecstatic dancing is the one reality. Storm after storm of passion on a bed of peace. I say what I think I should do. You say, die. I say, my lamp's oil has all turned to water. The beloved says, die. I say, I burn like a moth in the candle of your face. You say, die. Eyes, keep them open. Liver, keep it working. I mentioned the heart center. You ask, what is there? Much love for you. He smiled. Keep it for yourself. If I die, I said, who will speak to you of you? He smiled. Die. I'll speak through you, words so fierce, so dangerous with love. No one who hears them will live long. Cosmic comedian, giving me everything I ever asked for. Passion, vision, truth, knowing they would kill me. You brought me eternal light in your body's burning cup, laughing as I drank and grew wings of fire. My flower, my rock, rock flower, flower rock, dancer who does not move, changeless eruption. You sever my head and mind grows radiant. Push me underwater. Heart learns to speak. Beauty and love are as body and soul. Inexhaustible mine and diamond without price. I loved his beauty and love flamed from me. I grew beautiful. Love whispered my name. All tracks vanished. You said, travel on. I turned to beg you stay. You had gone. Winds pressed around me that smelled of you. Small flowers blossomed at my feet. Words from your mouth. With one silent laugh, you tilted the night sky, and the garden ran with stars. My best days are when I melt. Love streams from me, warm, timeless honey from your invisible comb. Each being is your gold, walking. Each being is your gold, walking. Love the eyes that see the gold. Last night I touched your beauty, woke an alchemist. We were green, we ripened and grew golden. The sea terrified us. We learned how to drown. Squat and earthbound, we unfolded huge wings. We started sober, are now love's startled drunkards. This mystery, I walk toward you, you well up, shining in me. Speak this loudly, hear nothing but the sea. The truth, so simple, the mind explodes to meet itself, running back in all things. To die in life is to become life. The wind stops skirting you and enters. Suddenly, all the roses are blooming in your skull. I know at last I know nothing. Ignorance on such a scale dazzles and frees the soul. Child wonder becomes our daily bread, broken for us each passing moment. Your eyes opened in mine. I saw your sight soaking every garden. Your ears bloomed in mine. I heard your river running over every stone. I have shrunk smaller than the smallest atom, expanded farther than the last star. All that is left of Rumi is this garden, laughing with fruit. One moon shining in 1,000 bowls. One water laughing in 1,000 fields. One sun with 1,000,000 electric shadows. One silence with these love cries for children. Fill me with the wine of your silence. Let it soak my every pore. For the inner splendor it reveals is a blessing. Is a blessing.
Was magnificent.
Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely.
It's a supreme blessing to deliver this beauty.
Oh yeah, sure. And with Michael's playing, there is a symphony of sound and meaning, a wedding, if you will.
That's very lovely.
It complements the meaning of the Rumi, I feel, to have the music around it. And even your physical presence and your delivery really upholds the what I really would say is the divine nature of the communication.
Thank you. Well, I've been worked on very royally by the beloved. And
clearly.
Yes, there's no faking with this, you know. So my experience of entering into this was very radical years ago, probably 14 years ago now, and someone handed me Open Secret, which was, I think, the first translation by Coleman Barks here of Rumi. And I have a background in poetry and dance and these, so I'm very tuned in sensitively, but this was unlike anything I had experienced before, and I was actually had the opportunity to be somewhat secluded very deeply for 6 months with this material, almost exclusively for 6 months. That was the first dunking with me, where I was, I realized there was something here just working on me altogether different than anything I'd encountered before. And this is the initiatory power of this transmission. It's a living power that comes through and then radically opens you. So as you speak it orally, and it's meant to be delivered orally, even if one is alone, and you're alone with the beloved, and it's amazing. I mean, at first I could hardly deliver a line without breaking down, actually. The chords were so deep in my soul and spirit that I would be reduced to tears and sometimes to my knees, literally. So this is a very
perhaps
fine...
upgraded to tears.
Yes, that's right. A great humiliation and a profound... Yeah, in the sense of the lower substance being refined, that entering into the alchemical fire, and bringing forth humility, true adoration and humility.
Humility is related to the word humos, or chthonic, having to do with the ground.
Yes, that's wonderful.
Earth, and grounding the spirit, really.
That's
into
perfect.
The earth realm.
Exactly. That's right. And I think the Sufis speak of that, the only way to enter the rose garden is on your knees, which is perfect.
Yes, indeed.
That's right. So that's what happened, and I was radically transformed by the vibrations coming through this transmission. And so I invite and share with other people, both in these events, which are whole evenings with music and often dance, but afterwards in retreats and other classes and seminars, to enter into this mystical force field in a very potent and conscious manner, and to allow the vibrations to work on you and sculpt you from inside like a grail cup.
Well, Rumi definitely, and your particular reading and speaking Rumi's words, invoke the spirit. I mean, it's very present. And I think people who were watching got that.
It is a healing
And
presence.
I know I certainly did.
Indeed.
Healing, it's evocative, and people feel it, which is what poetry is really all about.
Yes, it is. I mean, the true emotion of the soul traverses infinity.
Yes.
It really does. And a poem or a song or a gesture, a movement, enunciates eternity. And when you enter in directly, I mean, it is such an incredible gift, and you remember what we're here for, and everything else gets into proper perspective.
Right.
That's right.
Really true. It brings the soul to loom, if you will.
To loom.
What
That's
I
true.
neglected to share with you is that Gabrielle was in a prior lifetime this time around. Has a master's in literature and philosophy from University of Illinois, and taught there on the faculty there for quite some time. Literature. So that was sort of like, you could say, the grounding from which sprung your, I mean, as I look in, and I know that there are many more aspects to it.
Many thresholds.
It sure looks like there was an evolutionary movement toward coming more from the academic into the deeper nature of poetry and writing.
This is true, and I must say for me all along there was a listening within, listening to something else being articulated through poetry, so that even way back then, through Yeats, because I focused then on Anglo-Irish literature in particular, there were initiations that were very huge for me at the time on a very, very deep level, as also in nature and in other ways. This has come through music, through dance, through art, but the inner realms of luminosity and our inner wisdom circuitry, which is a higher light circuitry of the higher heart and illumined mind, and not knowing any of that language, then still it rides through.
You're doing beautiful work.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely.
It's a pleasure to share it, and I just invite others to enter into it for themselves.
Very good. I hope you spread it across the universe.
Alhamdulillah.
Well, that was us. That was Rumi. So hope you enjoyed the show. Please feel free to give me a call at 212-420-0800. Share your thoughts and feelings with me. I love hearing from you. And I look forward to seeing you all next week.